I'm really disappointed because this is really the only place that young fellas like our lad can come and play around on a bike, right? We have nowhere else to go really. This is close enough to us. It's miles away from anybody else, so we're not disturbing anybody. And if it goes, we've really got, don't know what we're going to do we?
Yeah. I think it's ideal as well for Edward. He doesn't do competitive sports, so he comes here, he's learned how to ride a bike, which has been fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great shame, really. This is somewhere that myself as a kid has always rode on, and then I go past here regularly and I see kids using it, and others who don't race so much, just newcomer, beginner levels really, and hasn't really left them with anywhere to ride now, which is a great shame. I made comment on Facebook about it, sort of comparing it to other sports like football and swimming. You wouldn't start football without being able to kick a ball. Same goes for swimming, and now that's been taken away on the motorcycle side of things. So it's really is problematic for the off-road riding. I think in the long run that there's no further people coming through to do this anymore. They can't. It's inaccessible now. So it's quite a problem.
So you were saying that you learned to ride here, and now your lads riding here.
Yeah.
How important has this place been to you then?
It's so somewhere where you knew whatever the weather, even if it was a bit windy, rainy, you could come here and have a little play about. Like I said, we used to come up here as kids. My dad used to take me up here. You do come up here after school. It's just somewhere to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get out in the outdoors. And now with my lads, with all kids and with computers and whatnot nowadays, it's to get them outside, get them interested in being outside and something else, instead of just sat on horses. Getting interest now, isn't it? Getting interest now, and then when they're older, it's an interest to carry on.
Yeah.
Instead of maybe going down the wrong path in life, it's something to do, isn't it?
I think it's a real shame and a bit of a bad judgment call, because there's nowhere like it on the island. It's the only place that I know, at least, where it's free access outside of a structured competition sort of environment where you can just come and learn at your own pace. We've already got kids out here today, and every time I've been up here there's always been young riders that have come round. There's just nowhere like it. There's no one around, which means unfortunately it's bad for the wind, but you don't get the noise complaints of anywhere if you're on a friend's land, if you happen to have someone that you can go and use their land.
I used to ride when I was a kid. I used to do the 85 class up at Ballygarrigan, and then I kind of lost touch with it a bit, and recently I bought myself a new enduro bike, a KTM 300, and this has been the practice ground for about the last 6 months, so it's really bad timing. But yeah, no, I've loved it here. It's nice and controlled. There's always guys up here helping. Yeah. It's just a shame, really.
I think it's disgraceful. I think that the lack of communication from whatever department decided to take the sudden action and close it, it's inconceivable to me that they could do it. It would be like closing a public park without consulting with anybody. And would you see that happen? Would Nobles Park just suddenly be closed to the public and we'd all have to accept it? I don't think so. Well, I think it's one of the few places you can practice, and also it's very centralised, and it's just a place you can come with no pressure, pretty much whenever you like, and just have a go, test the bike, ride a bike, give someone a go on a bike, get people into the sport.
Exactly.
Massively important.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel very fair. It doesn't feel like anybody in this motorcycling community is being consulted or listened to, which is mainly what people have an issue with. They feel very pushed out and not supported in any way whatsoever, and it's just incredibly sad. It's been a popular spot for a long time. People bring in kids, and there's like 2 or 3 generations that have taught their children to ride here. Perfectly safe conditions, they're supervised, it's away from public and traffic, and yeah, it's just very sad.
Yeah.
I've been riding here since 1989, first started riding here when I got my first bike. Ridden here every year probably since then, on and off, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the place, and I've taught my son to ride up here. My dad learned to ride up here, rode here a lot, took me up here, So I'm devastated this place is closing.
Yeah.
So it kind of means a lot to me and everybody else that I've rode up here with over the years.
So Finn, why do you like riding here so much?
Probably because, like, when I was little, I used to come here with my dad a lot, and it used to like make me feel really encouraged to ride on a bike. And I'm kind of a bit sad now because it's taken it away.
Yeah. There's nowhere else to go now, is there?
No.
You want to go and practice on the weekends?
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go because they just take it away and there's nowhere else to go, basically. That's what I'm trying to say.
We've been riding here like all our lives and stuff, and like now we've got nowhere to ride. Like, it's like, sad. Yeah, because like we've got nowhere to ride and nowhere to go, and I learned to ride here and everything. Yeah. So,
but hopefully we can find somewhere. Hopefully.
Yeah. What do you like about this place the most then?
The track.
Track. Is it a good place to practice?
Yeah.
So apart from here, where else can you go to practice on your bike?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. That's not fair, is it? No.
It's a good place to ride. It's where I first learnt, and now it's going to be closed down, so I won't have anywhere else to ride, and it might just end it for me.
Yeah, because there literally is nowhere else on the island where you can go and practice, is there?
Unless you practice in your garden.
Yeah.
If the government were making this decision to close Russian mines, I believe that we should have land freed up and made available to us to carry on these activities that we're doing. I say what I personally think. I'm also part of the Manx Four-Wheel Drive Club and on the Green Lanes, etc. And I do believe that this is going to force all the local people, residents, families who use Russian mines to force out onto green lanes, may it be illegal, etc. So I don't think by knocking this on the head and closing it completely is really the answer, without freeing up other land somewhere on the island. Yeah. But hopefully if we can get people out and to get their voices across, and we want to be peaceful and polite and just play ball and try and do what we can to save this.
Yeah. As a beginner or someone that's not interested in racing, where can you go just to practice?
I think if you're not into racing and you don't have a license to go on the road, there's nowhere unless you have a friend with private land, which sort of few people do. I don't know of anywhere, especially not legally, that you can go.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I mean, obviously we have to protect the environment, but you can see here you need to protect the community as well. Yeah. It's a big deal for people.
The big loss for me, like up at Snuff the Wind, Russian mines, whatever you want to call it, it's little kids, got a little, a quad, a little motorbike, electric bike, whatever. That's what hurts me the most, when people that don't do competitions necessarily haven't got the money to go and do competitions, but they can go up there, get the bike out, and the kid can race around on it and fall in love with motorbikes like I did and so many of us have done. That to me is a crime in itself, is stopping kids going up there. It's all well and good saying, oh, we'll get another bit of land somewhere, or a club will run it, but I've got a practice track now that I run, people go practicing on, but it's no use for the little kid to go to. Up there, the best thing up there, it's out the way, there's no complaining, there's no houses there, it's all weather. Bleak spot in the winter on a windy day, but it doesn't put people off. It's it's that grey old slag heap stuff that you can ride in the rain, sunshine, anything, and it doesn't change. I'm getting wound up talking here now. It riles me. I try and run a business here, trail riding, and you get shot down all the time. They're not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. So hopefully they'll listen to us.
What are the two things that the Isle of Man boasts? It's our nature, our outdoors, and our motorsport scene. This is a combination of the two, and one spot getting taken away from that sort of that scene. It's not great.
Because, as we know, the standard in the Isle of Man is high, and it's ironic the fact that the government really like to push it and say how great we've got motorcyclists left, right, and centre. Then they don't give us anywhere to practice. Yeah. Because confidence is such a thing in sport, isn't it? You don't. No child wants to turn up and feel like a fool because they can't do something when everyone else is already doing it. So as we say, it's integral. People talk about jumpers for goalposts in a park, kicking a ball.
Exactly.
This is it for motorsport.